just stories in the dark. Static crackles, a voice leaves a mark. Step closer, the truth's not far. Monsters awaken where nightmares are. Late night tuning in again. A voice calls out from deep within. Every tale crawls beneath my skin. The hunt begins, let the screams begin. Monsters unleashed, no turning back. They walk in echoes, they paint the black. From shadowed woods to basement doors, they live in tales and something more. Clicking claws in the hallway crawl. Footsteps where there should be none at all. Breath on glass, but you're alone. Or are you just a voice through the phone? Whispers say it's just pretend, but stories never really end. When silence breaks, the fear ascends. They're not inside, they're in your head. Monsters unleashed, no turning back. They speak in tongues, they leave no track. Through coke tapes and haunted streams, they feed on fear, they live and scream. They live and scream. The creak, the sigh, the static bite. Each episode, another bite of something wrong, just out of sight. Listener discretion is advised. Monsters unleashed, you call their name. You played the tape, you're part of the game. From every tale, the darkness grows. You thought you knew, but now it knows. Monsters unleashed, and you press play. Now they know you. They're on their way.
Well, hello everybody. How's it going? Welcome to another episode of Monsters Unleashed. Let me go ahead and start getting my my crew out here. Hello, Miss Jen. How are you?
Good. How are you doing, Mike?
Doing great. Doing great. Let's get Miss Donna out here. There's Miss Donna.
Hi, Donna.
And our newest member, we'll get Miss Cindy Sapp out here. Hello,
Hi.
Cindy.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
How's y'all's week been?
Good.
Kind of rough.
The weather's beautiful except for the downpours we had today and the wind.
Yeah, lots of rain.
We're supposed to get some bad thunderstorms here tonight, so
Wow. It's been really super cold here in the night, but during the day it's pretty warm. But at night it's been cold, surprisingly. It's weird.
I've got the windows open right now, so you probably hear things going crazy the last few nights. So you may hear, God knows.
well, we've got a good guest tonight. We have got Mr. Lopez here, Mondo Lopez. He's going to talk to us about some important work that he's doing. I mean, he's doing God's work. He really is. This is something very important that he's trying to put together, and it's going to be great if he can get help with it. I know he's needing help with it. So we're going to bring Mr. Lopez out, and let's see here. Mr. Lopez, how are you?
Hi, good. It's just Mondo. I'm nothing. It's just Mondo.
Well, Mondo. Okay. So Mondo, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, let's see. Where do I start? Average kid from a small town outside of San Antonio, Texas. Um, Always had an affinity for, I guess, what people call nowadays paranormal, but it included everything. It included, the mysteries of the pyramids, and then uh, myself being Hispanic and all the connections back to Mexico with the pyramids and the mummies in Mexico, and all of that. Because my grandfather was he was very grounded. Had a ranch out in Texas, and he's real tied to the land, and he always saw, you know everything was special. It didn't matter what it was. Um, and even when he took me out hunting, his number one rule is you don't kill something unless you're going to eat it. And period. There was a period after that. There wasn't any room for discussion. So he instilled in me a deep connection with the land, with stuff like that. And then he also, when I remember I was about 6 or 7, and I, discovered the Egyptian pyramids, and in West Texas, there's a lot of dirt and sand, and hay, and he took me out there, and he's like, okay, you've got an interest in the pyramids. Well, let me teach you how to make bricks. And he made me make little molds for the bricks, and mix the sand and the water and the hay and grass in the right proportions to set the bricks. And the Texas sun did the rest.
Yeah.
So he never let anything just fall to the wayside. If it was important to me, we were going to go explore it in whatever fashion he could. So that really triggered, just wanting to know more about everything. And then, old Eric, as I'll call him, because we're on a first name basis, me and Eric Von Daniken. He writes a book, and, it just, man,
Excuse me.
my connection to everything just blew up from Chariots of the Gods, and it was just, it was over. It was done after that. So, time progressed, and you go do things, and you're trying to find your way in life. And, next thing I know, it's 9/11, and I'm just like everybody else, and I wanted to do something. And so I ended up joining the Navy, and spent about 14, almost 15 years in the Navy, then got out and did some contracting, and, eventually kind of landed backwards into now making hot sauce, believe it or not. And uh, I had some time, and I went to a couple of Bigfoot festivals, one down here in Virginia, where I met Gwen Purcell. And through Gwen and traveling up to Pennsylvania, I met Sean Forker. And so I begged and pleaded, like, hey, let me do something. Like, I want to be part of this, but I'm not brave enough to go out into the woods, and I can do some glamping. Really can't do anything more than that. Like some of you guys go out there and rough it, and yeah, that's awesome. I'm just not built that way. But so he had mercy on me. Sean had mercy, and he gave me all our access to all the reporting from Pennsylvania, Bigfoot Society, and I took that, and there's a lot of duplicates, because it was he had it hosted on one website, and then on another website, and then kind of some that he had on hard drive. So compiled them all and then whittled them down from there. It ended up being about 528 in that enormous Excel spreadsheet that you got in front of you. And some of them, I blacked out, and I blacked them out because it just there wasn't enough information. Now, what I know of Stan Gordon and Sean is they're very meticulous on, well, do you think you saw a bear or do you think you saw a Bigfoot? I mean, they get down into the weeds. And just like anything else, there was going to be, there was going to be some errors and stuff like that. But the ones I did black out in that Excel spreadsheet, they just lacked anything. Like one off the top of my head, I think it was like 3 kids on a bike, and they were really excited because they think they saw something, but they don't know what they saw. And then, they didn't say anything for like 2 weeks. And then when they finally said something, they went out to where they think they saw it, and all 3 of them had different locations where they saw it. And, and so I didn't include those. I kept them in the original spreadsheet, but I blacked those out. So just in case you guys look at the Excel spreadsheet and you're like, well, what's this? Well, I mean, once you unmask it, you guys would read the reports for yourself, and then you could determine. But compile those, and then I broke them down into the counties. And I didn't know Pennsylvania had 60 counties, to be honest with you, but there's 60 counties.
Hey, so, North Carolina's got 100 counties.
Yeah. Are you kidding? Wow. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I have this spreadsheet here, Mondo, if you want me to pop it up here real quick.
Sure. I mean, that way the audience can kind of see my craziness firsthand.
I know that you can't really read it.
There you go. There's one of the black ones,
But it's very massive.
Wow. That's a lot of time that you've put into this. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to say I did it overnight, but I didn't. I'd be lying to you guys. So yeah, I whittled away at it, and one of the Texas sayings my grandfather used to say is, "How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time." So that's what I did with this Excel spreadsheet. Now this right here is all the counties. And I broke them down by, the most sightings down to the least sightings. And I think I had the cutoff of obviously Westmoreland has the most, which was, astounding to me because you have Pittsburgh right there,
Yeah.
But, I broke them off. I think all of from 116 down to, I want to say like 14 or 15, or maybe even 10, and then 10 down to 6, and then 5 down to 2 or none. And that's kind of how it's looking. Now this is something I put together, so take it for its worth. But out of the 528 total, I picked out some profile points of what happens in these encounters. So 79 of the 528, so about roughly 15% of the time, Bigfoot just turns around and walks away.
Yeah.
You know, then close to 15% also, then you have them just standing there observing you. Now, number 3 is the one I want to talk a little bit about. 57 reports of Bigfoot running in front of vehicles. Now, if you read these reports, it's like, it's not like somebody running and then all of a sudden Bigfoot runs across the road. It's not like that. When you read the reports, it's like Bigfoot's like hanging out, waiting for a car to run in front of. I don't know how that sounds. I don't know if anybody here has had that experience, because I really focused on that, because I think there was even a highway patrolman who was coming around the corner and he observed Bigfoot on the guardrail, kind of like hanging out at the side of the local 7-Eleven, just leaning up against the guardrail with his arms crossed or something. And as soon as the light shined on him, bam, he was running across the street. And me and my wife have gone back and forth on, is it, was he playing chicken with the car? Was is this a rite of passage that they have? Like, you get your eagle feather if you run in front of a vehicle, my boy's finally become a Bigfoot because he can run in front of cars without getting hit.
Yeah.
There's something going on there. It's not like if you read the reports, it's far more than by chance. It's far more than, oh, I was just at the right place at the right time to see Bigfoot run across the road. And one of the last things I want to talk about is number 14. So we have 12 reports, and it doesn't seem like a lot versus the 528 total. But people have reported them seen with a child or a juvenile. At the most, they see 2, either a juvenile and a child, and then either just the dad or just the mom, or sometimes the whole family. But I want to hit on that because this is the important takeaway, in my opinion. I mean, you guys tell me what you think, but in my opinion, this is the big takeaway. So how I believe that we can kind of beyond a reasonable doubt prove the existence is answering the 26 biological rules of nature. One of those biological rules of nature says that a mating pair will not have more offspring than they can feed, i.e., a sparrow needs, it's something ridiculous, like 500 worms a day to feed like 4 or 5 baby sparrows. Where they find all of these worms, I have no idea, but it goes to the testimony that a sparrow can have 5, but something as massive and as large as this entity, well, it can only have 1 or 2 at best. So how are they in the structure? Like, is their society on the increase? Is their society on the decrease because you have one or two? And I kind of put it towards, China, because China had, you can have one child, and effectively started cutting their population down like that. And then they realized that's not such a good idea. So they're trying to reverse it before they get to the tipping point. And I guess that's one of my questions is, where is their society on the tipping point? Because once they cross over that tipping point, there's no coming back,
That's a common thing for them to wait for a car and cross in front of them. It is.
Right. And so
I've heard it a lot.
Yeah. And that leads me to then, if they only have one child, or let's say it's a male, female, and either one of them are just playing, doing a rite of passage, whatever they're doing to run across the highway, it's putting their lives in danger, I would think,
It is.
And if you only have one mating pair within, I don't know, 100-mile radius, I mean, we don't know. There's a lot of questions and the little variables we don't know, but doesn't that seem odd to anybody? I mean, I guess the thing is that you guys, get access to the raw data, and I'm compiling it and trying to kind of at the 50,000 foot level, kind of see what's happening. And this is what I've come up with. Now, one of the things that I'd like to talk about that I discovered that's pretty crazy is, people see it, people hear it, people smell it, right? You don't get very many that touch it or get touched by it, But in this body of reporting, there's about 9.5%. I think it was like 50 reports of people either accidentally bumping into it or getting it, touching them somehow, and I think there's more people out there. They haven't reported this. They haven't either felt comfortable or, I always tell people, you tell me anything because I'm certified crazy. So you're not
crazy.
Yeah. Well,
I've heard people say for every one person that reports, there's like 50 other reports that don't get reported.
Oh, that wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, at all. Would not surprise me. So the being touched or touching inadvertently, that was kind of amazing. What was also amazing is 17 of these reports were intuitive, i.e., and it wasn't like people were meditating at the edge of the forest or beating a drum or, it was everyday people. A lady walking out to hang the laundry out on the line, and she was like, somebody staring at me, turned around, and at the edge of the forest, there's Bigfoot looking at her. Or a guy, which is a good one, had his headphones on, riding lawnmower, just cutting his grass, and he said, just boom, something was looking at me, and he looked, and there it was. Now that's it's fascinating to me. We all have this ability. Every single one of us that I'm looking at right here, and in your audience, everybody has this ability. The problem is, when we're kids, what is the first word that we teach children? The word no.
Oh, yeah.
And that starts stifling everything. But still, even through that, we have 17 people reporting, I felt something, felt somebody was looking at me, and there it was, you know.
I've had that feeling in the woods, Mondo. Here in North Carolina, actually in the Yari,
Wow.
I was in there turkey hunting, and like I got in and got all set up, and dude, I walked straight up this mountain to get up to where I was going to hunt at. And I'm a fat guy, so for me to walk up that mountain, I mean that's some effort, okay? And I got up there and got set up, dude, and I'm sitting there, and there was nothing stirring, and like I had this eerie feeling, like I was being watched. And I looked all around. I even stood up from my blind and looked all around, and I never seen anything.
Yeah.
But that feeling just kept getting stronger and stronger. And finally, I just packed up and left.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy how many people, and if you read those reports, which, you know, if you read the reports, it's kind of creepy because it's not. I mean, like there's your example. I remember one or two hunters out there in the reporting, but the ones that really kind of creeped me out were the people minding their own business. Like the lady hanging laundry and the guy mowing the lawn. That like, I don't know. I tossed and turned that night when I read that report. I was like, man, I just want to go to work. I don't want to, have that feeling.
Well, I believe that they're very curious creatures.
Yeah.
And that's why the whole thing with like there's been a lot of reports where children were playing and people seeing Sasquatch and stuff. They're out there, they're watching the children play, the laughter and stuff. They hear that and they're attracted to it because they're curious. So I mean, I could see that a lawnmower running. They hadn't heard it before. They go to see what that noise are, and they're watching. They're walking by and they see the lady hanging up all these bright collared clothes and stuff. I could see that. Yeah.
And so if I haven't floored you guys yet, I hope y'all are ready. So everybody looks like they're sitting down. 10 reports out of these 528. So almost 2%. 10 reports have a Bigfoot sighting and a UFO sighting in the same report.
Yeah,
That's common too. That's common.
So, who wants to hear the craziness that goes through my head?
I do.
I do.
All right. Now, I believe in abductions. I think they're happening all over the place, and I think more people are getting abducted than they really know. Now, since I was a kid looking at alien abductions, all the reporting and everything, they always take humans. They've seen them taking cows. They've seen them taking deers. They've seen them taking birds. They've seen them taking just about every flora and fauna here on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So when people say, well, Bigfoot's tied to the UFOs or is interdimensional, I can't discount that because there's I don't have any evidence. But I've heard more than one abduction stories that the person or people get abducted, and on the ship is either a male Bigfoot or a female Bigfoot or a family in the same situation that the people that got abducted are. And I'm like, that makes sense. If you're a scientist traveling somewhere, why only limit to certain animals and humans and just leave Bigfoot out of the mix? You wouldn't. You'd be probably trying to study that as well, How they keep it under control, I don't know. But there's been multiple reporting of people. I want to say it wasn't Carolina, Missouri, maybe. Young boy, kind of happenstance, starts feeding a family of Bigfoot, and they're coming up to, the back of the trailer for food and stuff, and kind of symbiotic. He doesn't tell his grandmother, and they're not violent or anything. And then one day he's coming from school and Zap gets abducted. And I think he was in his teens already. He was terrified, didn't know, and looked over, and there was that family of the Bigfoot. And before he could react, before they could, I don't know, do anything, there were, he was then back at home. And it's things like that they make sense to me. So I don't know how everybody views the phenomenon yet, but that's one of the things that really struck me. I mean, there's so many things that struck me out of this, but kind of those are like my highlights. And I'll stop talking and let you guys ask questions. And
Well, I mean, what you have here is you've put together this spreadsheet, and each one of these reports is more evidence than you actually thought it was. I mean, you put together a pattern here.
Yeah.
And pattern these things is what we need to do. We know they exist. So pattern them so we can see their behaviors, and stuff like that, what they're doing. I mean, in certain areas, what these things have a habit of doing in these areas and stuff like that, you'll be more up to find more solid evidence when you know what to look for in these areas. So I think, man, like I said, when I started the show, I said, you're doing God's work, because this is really important.
Well, and the profile points, if you look at the profile points, they're really not very confrontational. It's when you get down to like 20, 21, 22 at the very bottom. That's when people have reported like they attacked my dog, or they put a dent in my trailer, or they smashed my electricity box or something. Yeah,
Well,
there you go.
The one number 22, swimming.
Yeah.
That's the thing there. I wondered if they could swim or not. I mean, one person, 1% of them says that they witnessed them swimming. So
yeah, and I'm trying to remember that report. If I'm not mistaken, it was like the Bigfoot was at the river's edge, and they were coming out of the woods to the river's edge, and it kind of had nowhere to go and went into the water and swam. Of course, the people that kind of came across it turned around and ran back into the forest. But that was kind of interesting. It was something I'd never heard of until this database.
Because personally myself, I hadn't heard any stories of them swimming, but someone asked one time if they could swim, and I figured they could, because I mean, you take a puppy, a little puppy, and you put it in the water and it'll swim. It was never taught to swim. I mean, and it's in our nature when we're born. If you take a newborn baby and put it underwater, that baby can swim.
Yep.
So I believe that they can. Just nobody's caught them skinny dipping,
I've heard encounters of them swimming too, and actually staying underwater for a very long time.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
I've seen them. I've seen them swim plumb across Brush Creek.
Mhm.
You know, bank to bank.
Hmm.
They will cross. So.
So Mondo, if you don't know our crew, I'm sorry I didn't introduce you. You know, this we have Jen up here, we have Cindy Sapp, and we have Donna Copas. I don't know if you've heard of Donna before, but she's got her name around. You know, she lives up in Ohio, and she lives on tribal land, generational land, and her family's lived with these things for generations.
Oh
Yeah.
my
I'm
God.
Shawnee. I'm of Shawnee descent. So all the way back, I can date back to the late 17 interactions. And I don't call them Bigfoot. I call yours. That's our word for them because in our heritage, they were here to watch over us and protect us. So mine's a little different.
I love that.
So Dave Bruce was asking what this was about. Dave, Mondo here has put together a database um, on encounters in like Pennsylvania. So far, he's got Pennsylvania. Now, this time next year, he'll have about 47 states, I'd say, time we get done. We get the word out about
Okay.
this.
Okay.
Um,
Mm.
but but yeah, he's put together this very impressive database, and he's broken down, and he's did all of his homework, and he's got this now. He's broken it down. He's had the percentages of what the behaviors have been in each one of these sightings, and stuff like that. It's very impressive. Very impressive. What is this right here?
So that's what I was going over. Um,
Okay.
you know, out of the 528 reports, 451 are visual, right? I mean, people see it and report it. 214, they hear the noise, right? 64 reports are the smells associated with it. Um, and then the 50 is what I was talking about, that they actually either they bump into them or somehow Bigfoot touches them. Um, you know, then the 17 is the oh, I feel Bigfoot or somebody watching me. Now the funny thing is, of the 528, 203 of them are a mix of all of these senses. You know, that that's a great percentage. Like 38% of these reporting is I heard it, I smelled it, I saw it, or I smelled it and I felt it, and then I saw it, or there it's a mix of it.
Can I see his map again, Mike,
Yeah. Yeah. 1 second.
of Pennsylvania? I was trying to see if the one with the most. Okay, that isn't in the Alleghenies, is it? The one
Yeah.
with 116?
Yeah. It's part of Allegheny Mountain Range right there. It comes straight down through there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania's a hot spot for UFOs, too.
Yeah.
So that's interesting to me.
Like I would like to overlay that map with UFO sightings and
Mhm.
how close does it get? Oh, and Gwen is trying to put me in touch with Les from West
West
Virginia.
Virginia. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Les
and
Odell.
Odell. Yeah, because I we were up in Pennsylvania. We met him. I got a copy of his book, and instead of going back to the hotel and sleeping to drive home to DC after that, I stayed up and I did the same. I went from cover to cover. I did an Excel spreadsheet for West Virginia off of his book. And
Mm-hmm.
if you see like how West Virginia is connected to Pennsylvania, you actually see the red transferring through into West Virginia,
Oh.
almost like a, dare I
Migratory?
say, like a migration. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Highway.
Yeah.
Now, Mondo, we have a photo that my daughter Trisha, the one that contacted you, she
Yeah.
got out of West Virginia, and Les has actually seen this photo, and he says that it may be the best photo taken that to come
Oh,
out of West Virginia.
yes, she did show me that. Yes, she did show me that. Yes.
So,
Isn't that by train tracks, right? Is that what I remember?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
uh-huh.
So I have a question for you, Mondo. So you
Okay.
mentioned that you think that Bigfoot and UFOs have some relation. What about paranormal? I've had guests on my show before where they've talked about how they'll see a Bigfoot. There was a Bigfoot Junior standing there, and then the next thing you know, it disappeared. But then a big green orb appeared where the Bigfoot Junior was at, and then you see the orb floating along the side of the tree line and then disappear. Do you think there's relation with paranormal and Bigfoot as well? What's your thoughts on that?
So I don't want to say no, because anything is possible. I mean, like anything is possible. What I kind of lean towards is my own experience in Iraq. Um, what adrenaline does to the body
Mm-hmm.
is just, it's ridiculous. In Iraq, you have the enemy, and I see 5 or 6 of them, and then they start shooting. The next thing I focus on is the end of one rifle firing. Like, I couldn't see anything else. It was just like this big.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because the adrenaline had constricted my pupils down to, like, I was looking through a straw.
Hmm.
And
The only reason why I
so-
bring it up is because they actually have photo of this. They actually were taken, on your camera,
Mhm.
you can take multiple pictures at a time.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just click, 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 right? And you can actually see from photo to photo to photo that this junior Bigfoot was at the tree line. Next thing you know, it's gone, and it's all of a sudden there's a green orb just right
Now-
above it. So that's why I thought it was kind of interesting. I was like blown away by seeing that. And you can, as you're walking through the photos, you're just like
Correct.
seeing and it was just like, what in the world?
So maybe, so my thought is, like, just hearing that, like, my knee jerk is just like, well, what if the orb was there to take up the Bigfoot?
Cindy, orbs and Bigfoot together at the same time are common as all get out, because people report seeing a Bigfoot, and then either before or after they'll see an orb, and that is so common, it's ridiculous.
That's
So,
what I was wondering, because like I said, I mean, this is when I first started my podcast way back last year, and I was only doing Audible. And then I decided to go to YouTube because I wanted to go live and share what people are, capturing.
Love it.
And I want to bring this person back on to talk about that, because I still have the photos. Like, I was like, I'm going to keep them, but not, I don't have the right to share them with anyone. So that's why I want to bring that person back on so I can talk about that again. So, because I just found it so fascinating.
mhm.
Like, you can see it because they're just click, 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 doing that multiple pictures where it just keeps taking pictures, and you see this you can see it clear as day. And then it just, all of a sudden, poof, green orb. And the green orb wasn't small. This thing was
Right.
pretty big. And it
Yeah.
just started floating around the tree line and then poof, disappeared. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah,
So-
and I just don't know what the connection is.
Yeah.
For me, it's hard for me to believe that they're otherworldly. to me, it makes more sense um, for them to be abducted just like we are, just like deers or cows or
Yeah.
anything else. I mean, again, I'm speculating more than anything, but
Yeah.
they are connected somehow. It's
Hmm.
it's finding out how,
Yeah.
and if the few people that I've heard interviews with are correct, then they are being abducted just like we are, and they're subject to the same things we've been subject to, like if the if women are being abducted and used for a breeding program, I mean, it would make sense. So would they,
Yeah.
Do you think that these things are just Chewbacca's from their planet? I mean, the Star Wars Chewbacca's, and they're coming in on the UFO. The Chewbacca's are visiting us. I mean, it
See,
makes sense if you've seen Chewbacca on Star Wars.
Yeah. I
yeah,
mean, you make a
so
good point, Mike.
yeah, I mean, like again, anything is possible, um, but my gut instinct, and let me go into why I believe this. My gut instinct is Bigfoot as an entity is terrestrial here on this planet.
I believe so.
Um, the reason I think so is um, I have got way too much time in my hands, or I only sleep this many amount of hours a night, whichever you'd like to believe. But what I have another Excel spreadsheet. It's like from the beginning of Earth until now. And
Oh.
one of the things that I've seen is when evolution has been happening here on Earth, there has been multiple instances where humanoid species in different developmental stages on different trajectories. Now, they're not going to be the same at the end of the road, um, but they all inhabited the same location in Africa at the same point in time. So you had like different species living in the same, section of the savannah, Now, if that happened multiple times in history, maybe this is just another multiple time where multiple bipedal, species are inhabiting or cohabitating in the same location. It just so happens it's worldwide now, but I've seen it at different stages in history. Why wouldn't it be here? I mean, why wouldn't there be ability to have another humanoid thing, you know?
But what gets me, what really chaps my ass, okay, is that the government just now come out and said, well, UFOs are real, aliens are real, UFOs, okay, and we've got as much evidence of UFOs as we do Sasquatch, but they will not come out and say that Sasquatch are real. I,
You
I
know,
just know. I mean,
I'm gonna steal this quote from David Paulides.
okay,
He said, "The government will never acknowledge something
they
that it
can't,
cannot control."
right?
Uh,
So they can control aliens now.
yeah, that's like that
That's,
scratches
But
I
my
mean, that's my thing, because I thought of the same
yeah.
quote before I said that, but like,
but
so they're acknowledging aliens. Does that mean that they have control of them now?
did they acknowledge
Or an
aliens?
Yes, yes, they did. They come right at, well, Barack Obama said aliens are real. They're not in
Yeah,
Area 51, but they're
yeah,
real. Then Trump has basically admitted that they're real, and he ordered for them to release all the files,
yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
And then like 33 million files just disappeared overnight.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not going to
Convenient.
release about Sasquatch and stuff because they'll have to rewrite their little agenda they want us to believe. That's the problem.
And the thing about acknowledging Bigfoot is and I talked about this with Gwen, is the second and third order effects. So let's say someone actually does kill a juvenile and drags it out of the forest to prove it exists. Okay, then what happens? So then
Chaos.
there's investigation. Yeah, really, literally chaos. There's investigations, and then how do we classify it? And in my brain, there's only three. Is it subhuman? Is it an endangered species? Or is it an exotic animal? Right? And each one of those carries second, third, fourth, fifth order effects. Like, if it's a subhuman, does it have rights, and how many rights? So the person that shot it and dragged it out of the forest, is that person, could be convicted of murder in some fashion? Or if it's an exotic animal, then are they protected in like a sanctuary? And what happens if that sanctuary just happens to have an oil pipeline running through it? Or
Right.
it's a logging, area? Or,
I
or
think
if
they're
it's an exotic,
sanctuaries,
yeah. I mean,
national parks.
I talked about that before. I talked about how the national park system started from Roosevelt. And
hmm
right before Roosevelt became president, he wrote a book. Um, I've got such a bad memory. Um, at the end of the book, it was the last book he wrote before he became president. At the end of the book, the very last chapter talks about Roosevelt's guide in the forest or in the wilderness, his camper.
hmm
That guy used to be a trapper who was trapping furs, and the trapper and his friend were out in the middle of nowhere. They go out to get a couple of traps, and when they come back, their camping site is torn to pieces.
Yep.
And they don't know what happened. And the guide goes off in one direction, his friend goes off in another direction. There's kind of some shooting. He gets killed. The friend gets killed. The trapper then comes across the mangled body of his friend and hightails it out of there. He relays this to Roosevelt, and Roosevelt puts it in a book and then becomes president, and then just everything became national parks right after that.
hmm
Again, everything's possible, but there's too many breadcrumbs there for me to believe otherwise.
Same.
I see Dave here. Dave says the Pentagon has a room for Bigfoot sightings and encounters.
hmm
That's good.
I think the government knows a heck of a lot more than probably what they want to reveal.
Oh,
They're on
absolutely.
Air Force bases.
Yeah.
A lot. A lot. Like they know they're there.
Yeah, here down here in Quantico,
hmm
I know I
They've had
haven't experienced one. I haven't seen one yet. Hopefully one day I will when I get out to Ohio, to Donna's land, because I'm going to go to her property, and hopefully see a watcher. But I have heard the audibles, when I've been on the phone with my friend Jerry Millwood Jr. from the NCI show. He called me and he's like, listen to this, and I could hear it, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's insane. But my thing is this is, as I'm getting deeper and deeper and I'm contacting, becoming friends with people being asked to come on to Monsters Unleashed and absorbing all this information that people who have had firsthand experience with watchers or Bigfoots or dogmen or whatever, I'm taking all that knowledge and I'm absorbing it. But I'm also trying to keep a very, very open mind that there is no expert. We don't have all the answers. We have our opinions, we have theories, but I don't think we're ever going to be able to pinpoint. Now, it may take years. Who knows? We might all be passed away by the time it's figured out. But my thing is, I always just try to keep an open mind. There are so many possibilities of where they may come from. We just can't truly pinpoint that as of yet. They might be from an alien, or they might come from a portal or a different dimension. We really don't know.
Yeah.
We're all learning.
Yeah, exactly. And I find it so fascinating and I love it. And that's why I can talk about this stuff all the time. So I'm loving your stuff that you're doing. I find it so intriguing. What I also found interesting is because how Jen said, can you go back to the map? I found it interesting in that one particular area, there's 116 sightings. That is interesting. That is a huge hot spot, big time. So that it makes you wonder, okay, is that another little gathering area for them, I guess, where they congregate? Is it one big gigantic family, or is it multiple families? So many more questions pop in my head to, ask.
And now one thing there's so many layers that I still want to do on this. For example, I want to go back and reorganize them by time. I think the first reporting in there is in the mid 40s, 1940s. And the other reporting, I think the newest reporting is from 2012. So I don't have the whole picture, but I got a big chunk. And so I want to do it by time. Where does it, where do they fall? Can we see a migration pattern, or, do they all pop up at one place and then scattered here and there? So there's that I want to do. And then I want to do the same thing, but by county. That way on those 116, can we, can we see a migration, or is it just a hot spot, if you will, and I'm not sure. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, please.
Where's Kecksburg on that map? The Kecksburg, that UFO thing that happened? I know you know.
I'm not an expert on Pennsylvania, so I'm going to have to look it up real quick.
I'm just curious if it's where the most sightings are.
Can you guys see me and hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, good. If I move an inch, I lose service, so I'm not even going to attempt my laptop.
Well.
How you doing, Mondo? Sorry I'm late. It's been hectic.
Oh, no. I know you guys are out enjoying yourselves, so.
Well, they had the gate shut, coming in, but the exit was open. I don't know, because there was a really bad storm here, so I don't know if the wind blew that other gate shut because it was open last night. So I just said, screw it, we'll just drive in the exit part to get back in.
Excellent. That's what I would have done.
Yeah.
So going back to your question, Jen, Westmoreland.
Wow.
Imagine that. Imagine that. What I say. I knew it.
That's good. That is so good, because right over my head. And see, that's why I was telling Gwen, I'm happy to start doing, but I need everybody. I can't look at the forest through the trees,
We'll help
had
you
a-
as much as we can. I'm not that good on Excel spreadsheets, but I know a lady that's upstairs that is.
Oh, Cindy. I had a feeling that Kecksburg was going to be where the most sightings were for some reason.
Nice.
Oh, I got me a cup too. Hey, Jim, check it out. Let's see here. Hold on.
Oh, hell.
Wait a minute. I recognize that cup. Is that the cup I gave Cindy?
Yeah, Louis Vuitton Stanley.
And you took it over?
Hell yeah, why not? That's
That's good.
Cute. He said, I love peeing outside.
On a Louis Vuitton cup. Yeah.
Right.
That's good right there.
I mean, you know.
Right. No, I find
Yeah.
this very interesting because, and then how, so like, for instance, as I love what the information that you've gathered and that you do, because I can only imagine the hours and time that you put into that. But for that, as an example, I'm going to go back to the 116 because it has the most. Have you literally taken that 116 and broken down just in that area or that part and say, oh, this is the amount of audible, this is the amount of sightings, this is the amount of it? Have you broken down each section? Because that would
Not
be
yet.
Not
I know
yet.
that is another thing to do. You know, and that would be where I start because it is the biggest.
Yeah.
But I know I started overlaying that with the terrain, and I have a friend, and she told me about the cave system in Pennsylvania. So I kind of want to overlay the caves on that as well. You know, are these used, you know, as hiding spots or how they travel around? I mean, you know, again,
Yeah.
I try not to discount anything because anything is possible, but you know, I'm sounding like a broken record saying that over and over again, but
No, I think it's amazing what you're doing. It's cool.
Yeah, I love it. You know, we watched you on Gwendolyn's show, and that's when we were, you know, I had told Trisha, said we need to reach out to him, and so she was able to get a hold of you. But I think that, like I said, you're doing God's work here, man. This is very important, and like I can't wait to check out this whole spreadsheet now that I have it and see all of these things, because like some of these stories you hear over and over in different areas.
yeah,
So it is a pattern. You know, I can't wait for you to get more states locked in on this
yeah.
and see when you crunch the numbers on that, the percentages.
Yeah.
You know, that's
I mean, like I said, I have West Virginia's only through Les, and I know he's done extensive legwork, you know.
mhm.
But I'm sure there's more out there. Same for Pennsylvania. I'm sure there's more out there. And being in Carolina, or I think Trish is up in Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky and Tennessee, she lost signal.
And then we have Ohio, right? And
I'm in Ohio too.
yeah.
And I'm not a researcher, but I've been tracking some Bigfoot because I had an incident.
I'm not a reader. I'm just a liver, and I can tell you we have massive cave systems here that they use. Like I said, I back to the early 1700s, and when he was talking about the families, I've seen over my lifetime, because I've seen their families. I've seen how many they give birth to, and children. They will usually have around 4 children before they stop having children. And they function in family groups. My clans stay here. They don't leave. They stay here. My father's watch here, and he's over 100 years old.
Wow.
And he's still, he's down to 3 toes, but he is still he's quite massive, but he is still active. So
And so, see, just that bit of information you said they usually have around 4 offspring.
Sometimes there's more. Sometimes, but it's usually around 4.
Yeah.
What I've seen.
And that's why we
But
need we need a team of people. Like I don't know like ecology enough to say the difference in Pennsylvania versus Ohio. Like why in Pennsylvania there's only 1 or 2 offspring, where in Ohio there's 4. And even and then if we just keep doing that for like all of the states or as many states as we can, and then we start seeing, then we start kind of pulling back the curtain on the veil, and you know, who knows where we can go with this. But I'm
the other thing, I've had people talk about like the inbreeding. These are once they are a couple. If I kind of look at them like the wolf group, they mate for life. And unless you get a rogue coming through, now we get rogues, but you don't function as a family. So here, in my group, I'm not saying in different, but in my group, they're family groups, and they don't interbreed with their sisters or their mothers. They are a family.
and see that's
So
another important point right now. So one lion can breed with like grandmother, mother, sister, daughter, and make carbon copies, and nothing is wrong. Like the humans can't do that,
no,
but lions can. And so that kind of then leads, well, that pushes me a little bit more away from being an animal and more over to subhuman, like
they have characteristics, and they're very intelligent. It's not a dumb animal. They are very, and they have abilities that I see, and I communicate with them, especially mentally. That's how I communicate. But they, there's different ways. And as for the orbs, yeah, there's seen orbs. I've seen was that portal had opened a couple years ago. I'd never seen that happen before. And the orbs came, and then the came, and then that portal, whatever happened there, it opened, but it closed. So I'm not sure about that, because, like I said, in our belief, in our heritage, that some people came, children with our people, and the watchers were left behind to watch over the children of the Mennonite people. The watchers, we did not breed with the watchers. The watchers are our protectors. So that, that's our heritage. Everybody has, and to each their own. Is theirs. I don't argue.
man, that's just a lot of information. My brain is turning right now.
Donna
Hey,
has some amazing experiences. Period.
Yeah.
She's got some great stuff. But same with Trisha and Mike and Jen. I mean, they all have. I'm the only one in this group who hasn't had an experience or anything, but I'm excited. I am hoping that I can. I would love to.
Yeah.
I think it's I hear people say that they mind speak, like Donna was speaking about, and people actually can communicate with them through their mind, and I find that just so fascinating, so interesting. Sorry.
Mondo, here's a picture of some ice I found stacked in the middle of the woods. And like this whole area was cleared out.
Wow.
And there's ice stacked. Look, ice is stacked right there in the middle. Now this was up in the middle of the woods. Just one area cleared out, and the ice stacked in there. And like I said, it's stacked in little sections. And what's funny
Yeah,
about
that
this
doesn't
is
happen in nature, you know.
no, it sure doesn't. What's funny about this is that this is in an area where we went in before and did a video, and we got let's see here. I know I got his picture on here because it's one of my favorite ones to show. I thought I did. But Trisha and I were in this area before, and we got a Sasquatch peeking around the tree on us.
Wow.
So there was an area up there that I thought was a nest, and we've got a video. It's probably going to come out next week, where we went back into this and looking at this area that I thought was a nest. I honestly believe that it is a nest, and like there's a tree broke off in the top, and there's another tree that's pushed over where it touches that. You could actually walk up that tree onto the other, and then you have a bunch of dead limbs and stuff up there, so it's coverage. But at the ground, there's limbs down like this together where it creates like a shelter. And guess what was in the middle of those limbs that were down like this with the trees?
A little nest, I bet.
A big X like that. A big
So,
X
Mike,
right in the middle of it.
So what do you think the X means? Because I've noticed it like Donna, it's like a Y shape or an X, like they leave these markings. What do you think, in your opinion, is the X?
Well, Trisha and them, Trisha would probably be best to talk about that because
Okay.
they've been doing some experiments with it.
Oh,
Yeah, so I think like the ones on the ground are marking kind of like our houses, how each in our houses we have a room, different rooms. I think the X's are marking something similar to that the ones that are on the ground. And the ones that are kind of up in the air are I'm sorry, I have that backwards. The ones on the ground are marking its path to find it so it can find its way. The ones in the air is just marking its territory, whether it's like its
oh.
nesting area or where it feels safer at, where it can't be seen, maybe feeding areas, play areas, stuff like that. And we've actually been taking a compass and setting it on the center point of the X to just see like how the direction goes, if it's exactly north or if it's spot on south, spot on east, and spot on west. Now, what we've been finding out lately, and we did this on about 6 or 7 different X's we've done this on? About 6 or 7 different X's, and every single one of them, it's been spot on north, 0 degrees south, east, west. It's been perfect.
Wow.
It's not been northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest. It's just been north, south, east, and west. So then we walked north on one. We picked a direction and we walked north on this set that we did. About 50 to 75 yards, we found another X. So we did the compass thing again. We continued walking north, found another X. That last X led us to this pine area where that was so dense and there was so much pine needles on the ground. That led me to believe, okay, well, this is where this thing's hiding at, because A, pine covers tracks, B, the density in the pines gives them great coverage, so it makes it harder for us to see. I'm like, okay, this is like its safety. Wow. This is where it's safe, where it can't be seen and it's hard to see them, and it can cover tracks. So we're going to continue doing that because, like I said, every X that we did the compass thing on, it was exactly north, exactly south, exactly east, exactly west. That's just what I think. I think the ones up in the air are just marking their type of area, what it is. And the ones on the ground could be how they, find their path. They follow a path, and they use these X's as markers.
Interesting.
That's what I think. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not an expert, but that's just what
Hey,
the experiments I've been doing. That's what I'm led to believe.
Trisha, did you get any geo coordinates off of that?
I probably do. I didn't measure it off my phone. My team member did, so I can ask him.
Yeah. It would be like interesting to see where it, where it lands. How many was it recent or a couple of years or?
This was about 2 weeks ago.
Wow. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, this is a fairly new thing. Andy, he just up and decided because my husband said, what if this is their compass? And I
Yeah.
was like, what if you're right? So Andy had this genius idea of placing his compass on the, I'm so tired, I'm twisting my words. I apologize. It's been a long day. But he had this idea of setting his compass on the center point of the X and doing this. And finally I was like, you know what? Let's follow this one. That led to another X. So we just kept repeating it until that last one that took us in this wide pine area that it was hard to see in this area. Very hard to see. And we ended up getting some knocks out of there.
Wow.
So that just kind of made me really think, all right, these X's, it leads to something, follow them. Do the compass thing, pick a direction, and follow it.
See,
Wow.
Mondo, not only you doing the Lord's work, we out here doing a little bit of it too.
Shoot, that's great because I'd like to like put that on a map and draw it out and like, does it lead to a certain mountain? Does it lead to a certain river?
I bet
You know-
you they all point towards where Jimmy Hoffa's buried at.
Maybe. Yeah, I'll do that tomorrow. So, because I'm in the LBL right now, but I'm not investigating right now. Tomorrow is mine and my husband's anniversary, and we got a cabin, and I have felt so uneasy the whole time we've been at this cabin. Yeah, it's been crazy. So tomorrow
Paranormal
we'll
or
be in
cryptic? Or both? What do you think?
a little of both. A
Yeah.
little of both.
Wow.
I mean, I've been able to debunk some stuff, but there's just like one thing that I haven't been able to yet. And I actually talked to the lady at the little office, the main office at the campground. I was asking her what type of wildlife comes in this campground because yesterday we arrived about 7:30. Finally got our key to our cabin about 8. So it was probably about 8:15, 8:30, somewhere in that time frame. We heard a loud crashing noise in the woods to the right, and it was really loud, to the right of our cabin. So I'm like, come on, LBL. Like, it's my anniversary weekend. I just want to relax. I don't want to get triggered by anything. This is the first time I've actually spent the night in here for a while. Just give me a break. And then we heard that. So about an hour goes by and we're sitting by a fire. And I'm out there just scanning the area with my light. And I see green eye shine. And I'm like, I'm seeing things. There's nothing there. I'm seeing things. So I let several moments go by. And I shine my light over there. And this time I see 2. And I see this black figure, huge black figure, just like slithering its way directly to us. And I yell for my husband, I'm like, look. And he looks and he sees it. And then he gives me this look like, get your ass in the cabin right now. So we went and got in the cabin. And I grabbed my thermal and I was going to open the window and pop my thermal out there. And then I remembered a story that I was told a few weeks ago by somebody about that campground. I'm like, I'm not sticking my arm out that window right now.
Was it about the pyramids?
No, it wasn't about the damn pyramids. But I'm telling you right now, the pyramids do not exist. That I did go and look into. and it's not here. Now there's another Wranglers camp a couple 100 miles away from the LBL. They could be there, but they're not here. They're not in Wranglers. I went and looked.
Go ahead,
I
Mondo.
looked at the video.
Pyramids?
Yeah.
Don't even get us started.
Okay. I'll save that for another
I will.
time.
Yeah, I'll call you and talk to you about it. I'm
Okay.
so done with all that drama bull crap. But I saw this, both me and my husband saw this black figure, green eye shine, and it wasn't hopping or really crawling. It was like slithering, but it wasn't a damn snake. It was huge.
What?
So I asked the lady today, and she was like, "Oh, well, we get deer and coyotes and occasionally a bear." So I'm like, "Well, I'm just asking because there was something that was moving very quickly towards me and my husband beside our cabin last night." And she's like, "Oh, well, it could have been a hog." And I'm like, sitting there like, "Yeah, well, it was really skinny to be a hog. If it was a hog, it was sick." And I was like, "Do you guys get Black Panther in here?" She goes, "Well, there was a story of one, but it's not proven to be true." And I'm like, "Okay, well then that goes out the window." And I know it wasn't a coyote. This thing was black. It was black. And so I don't know what it was, but I know how it moved. And I know there were some similarities to what it looked like compared to what I saw down in Colson Hollow the night that Jen got her video. But I can't confirm that that's exactly what it was. And haven't seen it since. But I know about 15 minutes later, there was a cat that was walking the area. Now, what I saw was way bigger than a cat. It was probably 10 times the size of a cat. So the
Really?
lady tells me, "Well, it could have been my tomcat." And I'm like, "No, I saw your tomcat. It was not that small. It was way bigger." And she just gives me this look. And I'm like, "I'm not going to push it anymore. I just, not going to push it." So I don't know what it was, but I haven't seen it since. But it did give me, there was some similarities to what Jen caught in her video and what I saw in Colson the same time Jen got her video.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I wasn't here to investigate this week, so I brushed it off and just went in the cabin. I was here to relax with my husband, and it's been anything but that.
Yeah, I'll say she hasn't relaxed a freaking bit at all. No relaxation. I don't know what. Look, you would think if she was going to go on her anniversary, they'd find them a nice little cabin someplace elsewhere. But no, they got to go to the freaking LBL and get a cabin, knowing that they're still following her around.
I didn't want to drive 4 hours to go to Pigeon Forge, and I'm really trying to continue working that fear from the encounter out, pushing it out of my head. And the only way I'm going to do it is stepping foot back in here. And my husband planned it, so I was okay with it. But if you ever come to LBL, I highly recommend those cabins at the Wranglers. See, he don't give me a break. I don't get a break at all.
Send me pictures.
Her husband planned it. It was like subliminal messages to him. I guarantee you.
I might have had a slight. I just asked him, like, "Well, hey, the LBO has cabins. We've never stayed in them. I hear that they're nice."
He's
It's
asleep
close
in
to
bed.
the kid.
Tristan's on top of his ear. We need to go. Whispering in his damn ear, Okay, Tristan.
I know last night, I was so uneasy last night after that he would snore and I would jump up thinking it was a growl and started getting panicky. And I gotta work through that.
I mean, her
It just triggered me.
Snore.
No, that's not good.
Well, those things are creepy, whatever they are. Whatever we caught on video and Trish went and put eyes on while we were looking at it. I don't know what.
I know. Well, I was lucky enough and I got to see that video. That was weird. That was so strange.
what she's
And
seen,
it
Mondo,
just
was
disappeared.
falling.
Yeah.
Did y'all write any of this down by any chance?
Oh, we got shit on video, man. We video
Yeah.
document everything.
Look,
Okay.
I can tell you exact date, approximate time. I can write it all down for you. That's why I told you when you were on Gwen's show, I would love to get with you and help you do some, stuff for a database. I think that's very important to this
Yeah.
this field. It really is. And if people would start working together and against each other and stop being children about
Right.
things, man, we would have one huge
Imagine.
database.
Stop being children
Well,
or a bunch of clowns. Um,
yeah. I mean, there is a database out there. I will take a stand. I'm not a fan of that database that's out there. I think we could do much better.
pull the Band-Aid off, Mondo. Go ahead and say the name.
Oh, I would
think it
never
starts
say
with
that.
BFRO or something like that. I mean, I can't
Something
remember.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I understand. That's
Yeah.
why I said you're doing the Lord's work.
Yeah. I just don't. Man, I call me a rebel or whatever, but I don't like this. Like all of the things that I did, I honestly don't care if somebody gets it and does more with it. I mean, I'm all for that. I just want to see this thing through in some form or fashion, even if I'm in the cheap seats watching everybody else, do the stuff. I don't care. I just, I know that other database is very aggressive if it comes to making any kind of money. Making money.
I'm gonna go ahead and put this out there real quick. I'm sorry, Mondo. I don't want to interrupt you, but Josh Wallace, you've been showed the door, and you'll no longer be welcome back in our chat. Feel free to watch the videos, but we're not going to put up with that shit. All right, Mondo.
There's that. I guess I'm glad I'm not seeing chat, huh?
Yeah.
Well, it's moral of the story. I've been called a liar about my encounter, and I'm not lying, and I have no reason to freaking lie. And
Well,
if
you're
anybody
lying
want me to
because you're
lie-
making all kinds of money off of it.
Oh yeah, because I'm
That's
so
dumb.
freaking rich. That's why I'm driving
Exactly.
a 2008 truck that has issues, and that's why my Jeep's broke down, and that's why my roof freaking leaks in my house, and
Exactly.
I'm just so
and see,
rich.
that's the thing is that's the backbiting, the fighting, we get nowhere. Nobody gets anywhere.
Well, it just bothered me because everybody in this room can tell you the hell that I've been going through since that night, and I've just now gotten to a point where I've strengthened myself and been able to cope better and separate those emotions. And for somebody to say I'm lying about that is somebody saying that I'm lying about ever having cancer and ever catching on fire. And I don't lie about stuff that is traumatic. I don't lie about anything, especially
exactly.
something that has been traumatizing to me. So
Mondo,
back
you've
to
seen the photo. I'm sure Trisha showed you the photo
Mm-hmm.
and everything. Well, we have the video. It's not only about a picture.
Right.
We have a whole video.
Yep.
Okay. And in the video, you can plainly see that whatever's there is not there. Okay.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's there. I mean,
I watched it move in front of my face, watched it move.
So
I'm like,
but we're gonna get people like that.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, I know.
everybody does. Everybody does.
You know
I
what
just
I say?
did what needed to be done. And the thing about this guy is he's one of our channel members. Okay. This guy's one of our channel members. I mean, he got the highest package on our thing. It's like $10 a month.
wow.
And then this guy calls Trisha up out of the blue and wants to start talking trash to her. And I know I'm airing out our dirty laundry here, but our chat needs to know what's going on.
He was
And
drunk.
this guy wanted to talk stuff,
You could tell
basically
he was
called us a liar, then contradicted himself. Oh no, I believe y'all. There was definitely something there. Then in another breath calls us a liar again. So I mean, the dude is psycho fucking crazy or something. And I don't know. And look, I hate putting our stuff out there like that, but I'm not going to put up with it.
Yeah, nor you should. You shouldn't.
No. And the thing is, we all need to be respectful of one another. We all have, and like, there was one day I was talking and I said, you know, I love hearing people's stories. And Mike reminded me, it's not stories, it's experiences, personal experiences that people have had. And when Trisha was telling her story, you could freaking hear it in her voice and how much, and when you watch the video, it's jaw dropping. There's no way in this world they could make that up. No way. No way from what they caught. Especially the other
I could
video that
see
Jen
the
caught.
distance.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, you know, but some people are just gotta be not so nice.
And I've never tried to convince anybody to believe me. I just told my story. Whether you believe it or not, that's on you. You interpret whatever you want. But that had me really messed up, and it still does. I had to leave Kentucky for a week and a half. I had to go back home and see family and step foot back in West Virginia just to reset myself because I had a lot going on, and I was not in a good place after it at all. So it really offended me, and it really, I didn't sleep after Josh called, and you could obviously tell he had been drinking. And I was trying to stay so calm with him, and I did. You know, my dad was on the phone. I stayed so calm, and I'm, you know, telling him like, Josh, this was there. I saw it. I saw it.
I wasn't calm at
He
all.
was not.
And,
I was trying to
and
calm
I meant
him, and
every
I'm
word that I said too, because like
and
see her hurt like that, and then this guy call her a liar and stuff like that. When we got video of it,
it's people like that why people that have these traumatic experiences don't come forth and talk about it.
Yeah.
And if I didn't want to come out with my story. I didn't want the video showed. I didn't want the picture showed. I actually got into a fight with my dad because I didn't want any of it shown at all.
she hung up on me.
I did. I hung up on him. I did not want it shown.
You know, but
I'm a
I
liar.
think that you should look at this like there's on that Excel spreadsheet there's 528 other people who have had the same experience you have. You know, and please go through that and read the experiences and like what are you going to do? What's this guy going to do? Call adding you? That's 529 people are liars. Come on, you know. Okay, if it was one person, sure, maybe 10, maybe, but we have 528 from the mid 1940s until 2012. Okay, yeah, that's a good hoax. That's run for what 60 plus years or 80 going on 80 years. Come on, no, it's either and I'm only going to give this person this much energy and then I'm not. Either you haven't had an experience like that or you know you just want to tear down people for no reason other than you feel sorry for yourself and you want everybody down to your level. Sorry,
Well,
I'm
this
looking
guy,
at five people that are amazing, and I think that's where it should stay.
well, look, this guy right here said just not a few minutes before he said what he said. He said, "Hi, Trisha. Really appreciate what you guys do." Okay. Then he went bipolar again. He's like he called us all clowns. I mean,
Maybe he's just not straight up there, like you said, like you mentioned.
somebody's mama
I
didn't
don't
love him.
know.
Yes.
Yeah.
My name's Bennett, and I'm not in it, and I don't have time for fucking foolishness like that. Pardon my language, but I don't.
Yep.
So, Mondo, I have a question for you. So, I know you've been focusing on Bigfoot. However, have you focused on any other type of cryptids like the Dogman along with this as well?
No, not. I haven't. I want to. I have not though. Uh, um, it was pretty big. Sightings. Man was pretty big in Texas. Um, out east Texas, there was a lot of Dogman sightings, and I always wanted to look into that, and I just never did. And then this opportunity. So, I mean, why don't we do the whole thing? I mean, I've done some kind of odd research on abductions, particularly related to the genetic program or breeding program. However, again, I just classifying it all. I don't have the words for it, but one of the things that I look at patterns a lot, because you know one person can say one thing and another person can say, but when they start overlapping and it's more than two people, then it becomes a pattern. And one of the things that I did see on the, and again, it wasn't as in depth as I wanted it to be, but one of the things that I did see with the females being abducted and used in breeding or whatever was it always happened after a large event, i.e., like World War One or the Spanish flu or World War II or Korea or Vietnam. Yeah. Yeah. Like the women that are like really significant cases of the three women from Kentucky that they just had the anniversary in February, I think. Let me check the machine of knowledge. Where was it?
Trisha, I should introduce you guys to the Shaws, Stephen and Leslie Shaw. And Mondo, you might actually really enjoy talking with them. Stephen has been abducted or had alien experience as well as very much paranormal. They actually live here in California. They live in Palm Desert, and they have a lot of sightings out there. But they're actually coming back on my show again here in June is the soonest that I have available. But I can actually get you guys connected. So because they wrote a book, who they are and what they're up to. It's a very good book, and they go way back in history of how aliens came about, or that like it goes way back. It's a lot. But I think but all of you guys might find it very, very interesting and intriguing.
I'd love it because
Me too.
I have no recollection. I'll state that up front. But I have written down every single, I call it high strangeness, every single thing that's happened to me. Last year, somehow, between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., I managed to dislocate this wrist. And when I woke up, because my alarm went off, I was sleeping with it on my chest. And when I did this to turn off my alarm, it was shooting pain. And so I had to go, the chiropractor opened at 8 a.m. So I sat there in the parking lot waiting for him to reset the bones, because there's like a bunch of little bones in your wrist. And it was kind of like a snap. And You know, I like to say I have a high pain tolerance, but I'm not going to lie, that made my eyes water.
Ooh.
Now, here's what the chiropractor said. How did you do this? And I was like, oh, I woke up. And he's like, no. How did you dislocate your wrist? And I'm like, I woke up and it hurt. And he's like, how hurt? Like, did you scream? And I was like, no, it was a sharp pain when I moved it. And he's like, it is impossible for you to dislocate 4 bones in your wrist
Yeah.
and you be asleep. He's like, I'm not buying that. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you.
Huh.
3 weeks ago, he had to reset a rib under my shoulder blade. It was rib number 3. And the way he explained it, he's like, your ribs should be like this. Yours was like this.
Ooh.
What the heck?
And so they had to, this is going to creep some people out. They had to lift my shoulder blade a little bit to stick a thumb to push the rib back in.
Jeez.
When did I do this? At night.
Huh.
That's wild.
I hope that
Oh,
you don't.
yeah.
I hope you don't wake up with your butt sore, Mondo. I mean, really.
I haven't, so thank you for asking, though.
Oh no, Cindy's gonna start giggling.
You know, these things been named the probe places.
Sexual places.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But
Like,
you know, I've had my ankle dislocated.
what?
Oh,
That's
Oh,
so
the
strange.
what the craziest one is. All right, my little bit TMI, but not too much. But I'm getting dressed or taking a shower. My wife's gonna hop in the shower because she's got to go to work also. As I'm coming out of the shower, she's like looking at my chest, and I'm, you know, drying off, and I'm like, what? And she's like, why would you do that? And I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, this is what she thought. She's like, you shaved the hair around your nipple.
Mm.
And I was like, I noticed that one was completely like, I'd never had it, but like it was like waxed, like gone, like just gone. You
That's
know?
interesting.
That's terrifying because
Yeah.
now you're sitting here wondering what's happened to you while you're asleep and wondering if you're
Yeah.
being taken.
Now, when you were talking about, Jen, when you were talking about orbs, and Donna too,
Mm-hmm.
I have a camera. I have cameras all over the house, but the back camera, I don't remember if it was 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. My back camera catches an orb coming, I'd say east to west, but it floats over my back railing on my deck and then starts to come up, and then the camera loses it, obviously, because it's stationary, but it floats up, and that would come directly into our bathroom that leads into our bedroom. And 2 hours
So
later, comes flying / floating back and goes over the railing and goes back out, but heads to the woods in the back of our house. It doesn't go in the same direction it came from.
Because I was going to actually ask you, Mondo, do you think possibly it's paranormal? Because a spirit can, if they are strong enough energy, they can hurt people. They can, put bruises, bite, scratch, poke.
Yeah.
break, misaligned bones. I mean, some of them are
Yeah.
pretty strong. Do you think maybe it was possibly paranormal?
I'm, those 17 reports I said in the thing that are intuitive. I'm pretty much intuitive as well, and one of the reasons we bought this house is because I kind of walked through it openly and I didn't feel anything. Um, I still don't. So
Hmm.
yes, I know there is because both me and my wife had an experience in Alexandria, Virginia. That was I'm just going to call it what it was. It was the strongest demon I've ever felt.
Hmm.
I've been in Fallujah, and I mean, I'm not kidding you. There's demons. It's not. I don't know how to explain it to people because everybody
Mhm.
thinks. Again, remember, I told y'all I was crazy in the front, but there was demons in Fallujah, and we put foot to ass against them. But that one in Alexandria was. It was the all I could do is I felt it coming down the street because we were at a restaurant, and it walked by the front of the restaurant, and all I could do was, hey, you cross this line, you may get me, but you're gonna limp after that. And when you feel them, they feel you. It's not
Mhm.
like, it's an instantaneous thing. And I'm glad it kept on trucking. I don't know what I would have done if it came in, but obviously it was not there for me. But whoever it was there for, they got the business. I'm not gonna lie to you. That one was a little bit terrifying. My wife said I was talking and I stopped talking and all the blood drained from my face.
Wow.
And I immediately felt nauseous. Immediately. It was not good.
They
But
do feed off fear.
yeah,
Anybody
yeah,
that shows fear, that's an easy target for demons
yeah,
or any negative or malevolent entity.
yeah.
Absolutely. They love
So
that.
so yeah, to answer your thing, I don't think it was that.
I could
And
feel them too,
outside of
Mondo.
By the
huh?
way, Trisha. By the
I
way,
could feel
Trisha.
them too.
Another one
Yeah.
bites the dust. I had
Oh,
to show.
really?
Again?
Yeah, I had to show another one.
Wow.
Yeah, his buddy.
That's so sad. It's
Yeah, it
ridiculous.
is. It's okay. This is the best way to take care of them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, have a crazy person on and then they can call me crazy.
No,
Can
we're not,
weed
no
them out?
one's crazy. No one's crazy.
Oh
Not
no,
at
No,
I
all.
have the
it's
paperwork from Bethesda. Trust me.
no,
No,
Mondo. It has to do with
I
the
know
other
it.
guy.
It is amazing.
It has to do
It,
with the
It
it
other
is.
really
guy.
bothered me because I really liked talking to that guy. But this the first thing he ever said to me was, "I'm a skeptic." But then he showed me pictures of this. I don't remember how long it might have been, like 19 inches long footprint that he casted on his own, and
Yeah.
it was verified by Jeff Meldrum. If you've casted a
Mm.
footprint that long, you know it's not human. Jeff Meldrum has verified it for you, and he showed me the photo. Um, why are you still a skeptic?
Exactly.
Unless
Yeah.
unless you faked the footprint. That's just my thought. I have a lot of respect for him, but I'm not a liar. Thing you want, because I'm not. And
Right.
so I'm just gonna brush it off and say screw that guy and just keep on chugging along and trying to heal from it because it's in a lot. And I even offered to go down in there in the nighttime at the encounter site and And I'm not gonna say it's not. I've been back several times and I watched it move and I didn't see it in my camera, my own 2 eyes. But I offered to take him back down there since he tried to say that we didn't reinvestigate it, because we did. And I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to go back in there and take somebody back in there to something that was really traumatic for me, something I'm still healing from, because he's blind as bat and can't see. You know, it wasn't there. And I don't give a shit about the video or the photo. I know what I saw with my own 2 eyes, and that's all that matters to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Oh,
Drama.
the 3 women I was talking about, they're from Liberty, Kentucky. Those 3
Oh,
women
okay.
are all like 3 different generational timelines, but again, each one was born right after a major event, and all 3 got abducted. And I think the youngest one had a false pregnancy, you know. And so all of those things I've been kind of compiling, but you know, I'm like a dog. Oh, look, there's a squirrel. There's a squirrel, you know, so
Me too. I think they abduct family lines.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and here's the last point, and then I'll shut up. Here's why I was saying, like, people that are skeptics of, say, Bigfoot or even aliens or anything like that, either they haven't had a traumatic experience or they blocked it out of their brain, right? If it goes to the aliens, maybe that, like, there's people that remember things on their abduction. I have physical. I don't have anything in my brain. Like, I never saw lights or beams or nothing. But I wake up all banged up, you know? And I have the doctor's printouts for that. But when I've been researching and speaking to a lot of abductees, you know, like Travis Walton or Tom Reed is another, and just a whole. When I was at Roswell, I got to talking to all of them, and every single one, it wasn't just them being abducted. It was a ship full of people. You know, I don't know if y'all are familiar, but with Terry Lovelace down in Texas, like, everybody thinks it was just him and the guy that he was in the army with. But when they were on the ship, there was 2 lines of people. And so, speaking to what you just said, Jen, that it's family, but at this point in time, I wouldn't be surprised if everybody has had it. It's just people like me don't remember, or like, what if there's people like me who don't remember but don't wake up with the wounds or the bruising, or maybe there's people that just wake up normal and go to work having no idea what they experienced 8 hours, you know? I mean, how many people are like that worldwide? Same, like, how many people see Bigfoot and don't report it because they don't want to sound crazy?
Tons.
You know?
Now, my wife said it could have been paranormal for you, Mondo, or your wife taking out her aggression on you at night.
Well, that's what the chiropractor said, that it was probably my wife doing it, and I have since put up cameras in the bedroom
and beat the shit out of you.
Speaking of aggressions on spouses, my husband's snoring if you guys can hear it.
She does make me a warm milk every night, and I go right to sleep after that.
Yeah, I'll go right to sleep. Well, Mondo, brother, I'll tell you what, man, it's been great having you on here, and we welcome you to come back. Any point
Okay,
you have
thanks.
any more information, but we do definitely want to get with you and share our stuff with you so you can put that on record. And we'd like to keep open communication with you so
Please,
we can
I'd love that.
give you more information. So just
Oh, yeah.
consider us your little cryptid snitches that we're going to give you our information.
Yeah. Hey, please send it to Cindy and Jen and Donna, my email, and just, reach out to me, and then I'll send the phone, and you guys can text
Jen
me.
has her own show and Cindy has her own show.
Oh, wow. Good.
So maybe
Great.
they
I
might
would
get
love to
on.
have you on.
Oh, thank
Absolutely.
you.
Me too.
Thank you.
And I can help
And
you out
not
in
just my
Ohio.
co-host. So
I feel like such a nobody. I don't have a show. I kind of just sit on my couch.
well, you're welcome on ours.
Excellent.
Yeah, I've been so excited for this show ever since I watched you on Gwen's show, and I don't know, your spreadsheet just my mind,
Well,
and I was like, why aren't we doing something like that?
like I have one. I have a lot of spreadsheets, so there's a lot of topics that I can talk about. But
Okay.
the one I'm going to talk to Gwen about, I think, is the Roswell timeline, and what nobody has done, or at least to my knowledge, nobody has done. Everybody has gone out and gotten snippets of stories and thrown it into a book like a collage. So what I did is I went through a stack of books about Roswell. Every time they had a witness testimony, I would write all of that down and put it into an Excel spreadsheet by timeline.
See, no damn wonder you're waking up with your wrist dislocated and stuff. The aliens are on to you, man.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know.
Yeah. I'll have to tell y'all the next time about this blue light in my room. That was ridiculous.
Oh.
I don't know if y'all have time, but I'll go through it real quick if y'all have time.
Go ahead. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Now, Iraq veteran. Okay. I have my phone, and then I have my 9mm by my bed. I wake up, and like a rock concert where it's a single laser beam kind of pointing out, and it kind of fans out into. I wake up, I'm sleeping on my right side, I'm facing the window, and there's my bookshelf with all my paranormal stuff. And I wake up because there's a blue light, and I open my eyes, I'm on my side, I can see past my phone, I can see the 9mm because this blue light is scanning my bookcase. Now, I know y'all don't know me very well. What do you think I did in that situation with a 9mm less than 2 feet away from me?
You probably got up so quick and went.
Okay.
Who's
Anybody
in my
else?
house?
That's what I would have done.
Yeah.
I sleep with same thing.
You know what I did? I went back to sleep.
Oh,
You're still
okay.
So you just woke up, looked at it, knew your gun was right there, and then just kind of was like, yeah, screw this, and went back to sleep.
Yeah. I can't believe it either. And if your buddy was here, he'd call me a liar too. When I woke up in the morning, I tumbled out of bed to grab that gun, and obviously there's nothing there. But something was over here in the room scanning my bookcase.
Were you frozen?
Huh?
Were you frozen?
No.
Okay.
I know I could have moved. It wasn't like I couldn't move. It was like, now when I say this, I don't want you to think I heard it in my head, but it was like go back to sleep. I didn't hear go back to sleep. I didn't hear anything. It just felt like the right thing to do when you see a laser inside your bedroom. So it makes no sense. It makes no sense. But along with the, I've got just so many, like, there's so many things that I've put my energy to, and it's like, I know this is kind of crazy. POW camps in America. Anybody want to give a guess how many we had after World War II? And I'm not talking like internment camps where we had, German citizens or Japanese citizens or anything like that. We had we had almost 200 in America.
Wow.
I know that we had a bunch of places where they had got Japanese Americans and put them in there.
Yeah, but this wasn't it. This was captured Nazis, captured Japanese, captured Italian here in America.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, see, I'd like to hear more about that too the next time you come back.
I've got tons of stuff, and yeah, put me on a group email or whatever, and I'll send y'all a list of all my craziness. And one, then y'all can say, yeah, he wasn't kidding. He really is crazy. And then two, you can say, oh yeah, talk about this or talk about that.
I'm on your same level of crazy, so we're good.
I don't believe anybody is crazy now, unless you're calling
Yeah.
somebody a liar that they saw something.
No,
Yeah.
just
well,
a
you
There
wig.
could be unicorns
You
up
know
in here now.
what I said it when I seen that Sasquatch there in the LBL walking. I told Trisha that day, and Trisha will tell you, I was like, I have to believe in the tooth fairy and leprechauns.
Mm-hmm.
Because actually we're going to have a leprechaun on the show on the 14th.
Oh,
I found
wow.
one. So, but in order to believe in something, to see something that someone told me all of my life wasn't real, even though I'd been through the experiences I'd been through and all this stuff, my family would just look at me. You look, no, you're just seeing things that's not real. Bigfoot is not real, and all this stuff. And then I physically see one, and I mean, it was crazy, dude. It was really crazy. But we'll get you that experience too, and where that was located at and stuff like that.
I love it.
And we'll start sharing some of our information with you so you can get it on there. But you're going to have to go ahead and start a Dogman Excel sheet, because make sure you got a lot of boxes on it, because we're going to have a bunch.
Hey, that Excel spreadsheet, don't ask me how I know, but it goes up to 1 million.
Jeez.
Well, give Trisha a couple weeks.
I love it.
Yep. But I did want to show you this picture here. You seen that photo? You seen Trisha's photo? Trisha, I'm going to show your photo real quick, okay?
Oh man, I'm not even gonna look, 'cause I'm like in here right now, and I've already heard like a thump on the top of my car, and
Oh,
it's
just close your eyes.
really
I'll let you
creeping
know.
me
Don't look. Turn your head. So that's what Trisha got, okay? And we got this on video. All right. So you see the size of it. This is Trisha standing there.
Okay.
That's Trisha standing in the same spot.
Go back. Huh.
And when
I
you
mean,
see the
this is
video,
like the photo taken off of the video.
Okay.
Now,
and
now the
I've
funny
seen them.
thing, I'm
Oh, go
sorry.
ahead. No, go
The
ahead.
white tree that's in the side of that tree, right? There's a white tree that sticks out. Now there's that same area with nothing there. Same tree, nothing there. Tree with something there. But
And you guys are gonna have to send me that.
but that there was a tree that was to the left of that the branch come over in behind that tree. And in this photo, to the left of that tree there where Trisha's standing at, you'll see a broken tree.
Mm-hmm.
It was snapped plumb off, and we all looked everywhere for the top of that tree, and it was not there.
Definitely not.
No, Jen was there.
Mhm.
So Trisha, we're done.
Yeah, if you guys could send me that, because I'd love to play around with that. Now I don't know much about photography, but I did stay at a Best Western, so I'm gonna take a look at it.
I slept at a Holiday Inn last Thursday, so
No, I love that kind of stuff.
yeah.
I'll sure try to help you out in Ohio. I live in Dayton area, so
And I'll contact you with. I have a question. When you were talking about, like the shaved off, to me, but it was here, like on my head. I woke up and it was like this big around, and it was just totally bald, shaved in my hair, and
Wow.
2 spots here,
Wow.
and I mean, just there's no hair. It was not stubbled or nothing. It was just skin. I get like on legs, like on my leg, it was like fang marks, like 2, like actually like a snake had bit me, like fang marks. And
I have
did you
one.
get-
I don't know if
Yeah.
y'all can see it right here,
like
Oh yeah, I can see the
and
mark.
it's 2 marks
yeah.
right there.
Oh,
but it was like on my leg, and
Yeah.
and so I haven't gotten them for a while back. But I was actually working with a couple guys that was doing research, and that was abducted, and he has terrible flashbacks from it. But I kept thinking, I didn't heck is that?
Yeah.
But I did. I thought, oh my God, my hair, I'm going bald. I'm 35. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going bald. It took forever for me to be totally bald.
Hey, Donna,
Overnight.
quick question. Have you ever had any dreams about the end of the world?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Trisha,
So
I had,
I think she's asleep.
I've had, yeah, all of mine, it's like a series. They're not, if I were to put them in chronological order, I think they would make sense. But the way they come to me, it's not. But every time I have one of these apocalyptical dreams, I wake up with something like this, or wrist dislocated, or my knee popped out, or something.
Thank you, Ash. Appreciate that. And by the way, the person that gave us that super chat earlier, appreciate that too, Moon. But hey, guys, I think we were already like 15 minutes over what we normally do.
Sorry, I talk a lot.
I'll have Trisha give you my email or something.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Courtney got gifted a membership there. Enjoy your membership.
Nice.
Good night there, Mr. Ash. We appreciate you.
Night, Ash.
But Trisha's getting sleepy. She's over there falling asleep on us. So
Yeah, I did not. I'm telling you, last night I did not feel easy. Like I was up and down all night, I held my bladder all night because I was not walking to that bathroom alone.
I
So
don't blame you.
this whole time I've been sitting here, I've been seeing this flashing red light reflection in his window, and I'm turning looking, and it's the damn airbag light on my dash.
I was noticing you
It's
kept
time for me-
looking out the
It's time
window.
for me to go to bed. It's time for me to go to bed.
Yep. Well, Mondo,
careful.
I don't know if you want people to reach out to you or not, but if you'd like to tell people how they can get a hold of you, just in case they have something.
I have not set up an email for everybody, but it'll be in the works. So,
Okay.
like they can either. I mean, if you guys want to be the central focus, kind of like Gwen said she would do as well. So, I think everybody knows you guys. So, I wouldn't mind, having you guys collect the stuff and then just shoot it to me until I can get something up and running.
Well, Mike, if you wouldn't mind giving Mondo my Coven of Curiosity Gmail.
Okay.
It's just Coven of Curiosity pod at gmail.com. Don and I would love to have you on. I would love to have more chats with you.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Are you
too.
sure? Because I talk a lot. So
No, it's fine. It's fine. No, we love this stuff. I mean, I find it very, very fascinating. So,
At least he talks about stuff that makes sense.
yes.
Yep.
thank you guys.
All right. Well, Jen, if you want to tell everybody how to get a hold of you.
Creepy Culture on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and creepyculture@yahoo.com is my email.
All right. And you, Cindy?
You can find me on Coven Curiosity podcast on YouTube and on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok. You can also find me on the newest show that I started with my good friend Joy, the Hunted Case Files, which is my logo behind. And you can also find me with Robert Effler from the NCI guy or the NCI team. We started a show called Grandpa's Old Hate Tales. So you can find me in there, but I'm always on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Yeah. So I'm kind of all over and on here, of course.
And Miss Donna?
Well, you can find me with Mike here Saturday night and with Cindy. And then on Facebook, I have a group, Watchers Maidens. So, and do.
I think she kind of bogged out on us there.
Probably pose up.
Everybody, if they need to get a hold of Donna, they can get a hold of us. We'll turn it your way.
Yeah, she's my co-host now officially. Instead of a guest co-host, I made her my co-host. So she's on my show all the time now.
Good choice. Good choice. All right, everybody. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to pull everybody out here, and I got a song for those haters. So
Have a good night, y'all.
good night,
Thank
everybody.
y'all very much.
See you
Thank
guys.
y'all.
Good night.
Fresh out the woods, yeah, we on the scene. Got the camera rolling, you know what I mean. In the LBL, where the stories unfold, chasing shadows and secrets that nobody told. They said it's a myth, just tales in the night, but I'm about to prove him it's a hell of a sight. Paws on the ground, moon shining bright, a creature lurking, ready to ignite. I don't give a damn, this bitch is real. Got my squad behind me, what's the pill? Monsters unleashed in the dead of night. Dogman in the frame, yeah, we ready to fight. I don't give a damn, this bitch is real. From folklore to the flesh, how does it feel? Monsters unleashed, let the whole world see a dogman in the LBL capturing history. Yeah, Yeah, camera focus, heart racing fast. Every whisper and growl, we're spelled to last. Got the flashlight shining, catching every move. This ain't no fairy tale, it's the truth we prove. Hunting down legends, it's a thrill seeking chase. In the heart of the dark, we embrace the space. What's out there lurking, can you feel the thrill? Lurking in the shadows, yeah, this vibe is real. I don't give a damn, this bitch is real. Got my squad behind me, what's the pill? Monsters unleashed in the dead of night. Dogman in the frame, yeah, we ready to fight. I don't give a damn, this bitch is real. From folklore to the flesh, how does it feel? Monsters unleashed, let the whole world see a dogman in the LBL capturing history. Running through the trees, hear the howl in the wind. We're on a wild ride, let the adventure begin. Feet on the ground, but our heads in the sky. Facing off with legends, we gonna fly. Jumped on the footage, gotta share the raw. This ain't a game, we're breaking the law. We're recording the night, capturing the vibes. Dogman in the spotlight, watch how we thrive. I don't give a damn, this bitch is real. Got my squad behind me, what's the pill? Monsters unleashed in the dead of night. Dogman in the frame, yeah, we ready to fight. I don't give a damn, this bitch is real. From folklore to the flesh, how does it feel? Monsters unleashed, let the whole world see a dogman in the LBL capturing history. So when you hear the story, remember this day. We caught it on cam, now we ain't here to play. Legends come alive in the night's embrace. Monsters unleashed with